I'm a grad student. I am studying information management.
So I'm a first-year MEM student here at the School of Information, and I'm interested in user experience and applying that in a product management role.
So I am a student here at the iSchool at Berkeley.
Oh, so I'm a first year student at the School of Information, and I'm focusing on consulting, strategy, and product management.
I have a Facebook account mainly to stay connected with friends. Also, a really important use of it for me is staying up on current events going around that are happening on campus, and just staying up on what people are talking about. So, social aspect.
I currently use it for staying in touch with my family who are back in India.
To stay in touch with other people and log into other stuff.
I use it a lot for event organization. I am part of a collective that puts on like a dance social every month, and we use it a ton for communicating in between our group and in promoting the event itself. We basically use Facebook as a base for that kind of event promotion.
A lot, yes, definitely it does. The filtering helps me to sort out what my priorities are, especially when I sign up for content that I usually tend to ignore 2 or 3 months down the line.
Most of the time, I would say, but yeah, there are lots of times when I wish I would get different kinds of content.
Like when?
I get a lot of content from a lot of pages. Sometimes I would wish I can control that, say, I don't want to see any more pages today, just show me all my friends' activities, that kind of thing.
Yes, I do. To a large extent. I mean, obviously there's some advertising elements that can be not as relevant sometimes, but for the most part, it's pretty relevant.
I mean, if we're promoting an event and our posts about the event are not fed to the people we want to see them, we miss out on those people. But if it weren't filtered, we don't really have that guarantee that they would see it anyway. I do use my real name. I use all 3 of my names.
Yeah, I do. I think they pretty much know everything about me.
So my real name, my family, my date of birth, my address, everything is on Facebook. And if you dig deeper, my messages contain even my bank accounts, my personal passwords. So I tend to just shoot them all the messages to my friends and family.
I keep everything pretty ambiguous. I think I have my birthday on there, but not the birth year.
There has always been some form of activity on Facebook that reflects my activities off of Facebook in the real life, in the offline world. So even if I'm in a relationship, I would have some form of activity that would be going on inside of Facebook too.
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely it does, especially when I'm tagging something. Yes.
I think so. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I mean, everything that is on Facebook is available to them. So. I would assume they share demographics and stuff that I have liked or posted earlier, interests and demographic information, I guess.
Would I be interested in, so that they can place ads better? I used to be in marketing, so this is all kind of useful for me.
I know for sure that my Google searches reflect directly on Facebook. So for example, if I do a search for cloud deployment on Google, the next ad I see on Facebook is DigitalOcean or Amazon Web Services. So I know that Facebook takes a lot of data in, but I'm not sure what they share outside. That's kind of a blind spot for me.
Definitely personal information, and probably which stories I'm clicking on. So, to get better targeted advertising. Am I comfortable with it? I mean, I'm aware of it. I know that that's sort of their business model. So I think if you're signing up for Facebook and not okay with that, not aware of that, then you probably shouldn't be signing up for Facebook.
I wish they wouldn't share what events I go to publicly. I wish they wouldn't share what pages I like publicly. So I wish there could be more security around how I could portray my data outside.
I started using ad blockers, so nothing that Facebook does really, I mean, on the commercial front affects me. So no, I don't really care about that.
No, again, like I have a pretty good idea of what they're doing, so I don't share things that I wouldn't be comfortable.
Basically, I think of my grandmother when I post it, and would this be okay for her to see? And then I'll post something.
I think it is, but it has to compete with their commercial interests to an extent that I am afraid that someday it will not be, and that day could very well be yesterday.
The way that the privacy settings are right now organized, I don't think it's a priority. They are trying to implement as much connections as possible by keeping the privacy to minimum, because that's how a social network really works. If you are too private, then you're not really being social, which defeats the point of being on purpose. So they have to be tricky to navigate. I can understand their strategy behind it. It's not fair, but that's how it is.
Ostensibly, but from a business standpoint, probably secondarily.
Um, yeah, just for their own PR and like basic ethics of their company. I think it's pretty important to address.
As long as the experiment is in a sandbox that's confined to me, I'm okay with it. But what recently happened with Apple, I'm not really sure if that sandbox is going to be exposed to certainly an external outsider. So that's kind of scary.
Me personally, I don't care, but I think bigger picture, there's probably some ethical questions going on.
Couldn't care less.
I think it was fine. Like, I don't think they were being malicious with it, and I didn't really care. I could see why people might care, but I think of Facebook as not something I'm entitled to, and it's something I can leave whenever I want. So I think, I mean, I probably don't have a problem with it because I'm aware of what they're doing because I've been on the other side of like the marketing side of it, and so I have that knowledge already. So that stuff doesn't surprise me.
I think making people more depressed if they're already not feeling good or that kind of a thing would be definitely unethical.
Like I said, no, I don't think it's okay. I mean, like, I'm sure it's probably in fine print somewhere, but yeah, I don't think it's okay.
Well, as a personal Facebook user, I think they should be off limits. But when I think in terms of corporate strategy and in the long run how systems adapt to people using them, I think it's the right strategy to go. As long as people are notified that they are being tested and what kind of tests they are and why would they be useful to them.
Well, I know that they're trying to push for sort of like integrating some health information. If they could actually make use of that, that's another question, or if it's more just for profit motives.
Well, personally, I'm not a multiple services kind of a guy. So I am the kind of guy who would have all stuff in one centralized place. So maybe Facebook can connect to my bank account, I can make payments, I mean, my college bills, whatever stuff I want to do, like hail a cab through Facebook. I'm the sort of a guy who wants one service that can interact with everything that I have.
I don't want them tracking my location, but I guess if something they could make is a lot of your friends have been at this place recently